Okay, so I have some anti-MLM stuff from Reddit right here. So, am I the asshole because I don't want to help my sister financially because she promoted her MLM at my wedding? The fact that she's in an MLM at all is why you shouldn't help her anyway. Anyway, I, 29 female, married my wife in October last year. Best day of my life. Good for you, girls. Good for you. Women, whatever, ladies, however you want to call yourself. I don't mean it in a demeaning way. Okay, let's go back. My 32-year-old female sister, Bianca, has been in an MLM for almost 3 years. She has seriously become another person since she started her business. She shared some group chats, and there's not a day that goes by that she doesn't send out catalogs, promotions, and walls of text about how lucrative the opportunity is. Like they all do. About the topic. It was the beginning of the wedding reception. My wife and I are talking to some of our guests when our wedding planner frantically approaches us and tells us that there is a guest handing out MLM business cards to the arriving guests. Turns out it was Bianca. I asked her to stop and she did, except she spent the whole night trying to talk people into the business. In the grand scheme of things, what Bianca did was insignificant because my wife and I are very happy that day that there was no major problems. But I still get angry when I think about how uncomfortable it must have been for the guests who were subjected to her presentation. Fortunately, they graciously accepted our apologies. Every time my wedding is mentioned, someone is sure to mention that my crazy sister who was promoting her MLM. Oh, yeah. There's no way that's not getting mentioned in relationship to your wedding. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I wouldn't talk to that sister anymore at all. Bianca and I haven't had a lot of contact since then. Yesterday, my mom called me, and after a bit of catching up, she told me that my sister's business hasn't been doing very well. And that she's been struggling to meet her monthly quotas. So now she's behind on rent and needs money. Bianca asked my mom for money, and she's in turn asked me to help her. I said absolutely no. Good for you, girl. Good for you. Because honestly, giving to her would be like giving to an addict, and that's just enabling her. She embarrassed me at my wedding. She didn't even apologize, and I was absolutely sure she was going to use the money I gave her to get into another MLM now that this one is no longer working for her. And I would bet money that she would do exactly that. She sounds like that's exactly what she would do. My mom said that I am cruel and rude. Really? You're cruel and rude because you're not going to fund your sister's poor decisions? That's her deal. And she needs to hit rock bottom on her own in order to really learn from it. You bailing her out wouldn't help her. She said that she did not raise me to betray my family. Oh, okay. So it's okay for Bianca to fuck over your wedding a little bit, but not okay for you not to give her money? I mean, that's a lot of bullshit right there. I told her that she's just feeding my sister's fantasy world and that making her believe that at some point she's going to be successful with her MLM. Am I the asshole? We're not on speaking terms right now. She edited for grammar mistakes. And I didn't screenshot the actual responses, but I did read through a few of them. And they were basically saying if you bail her out, you're enabling her. It's a lot like a gambling addiction. And then somebody lower on was talking about how, oh, that makes perfect sense. Some people they know that were ex-gamblers are now heavily into MLMs. And that's exactly what it is. It's a high risk, high reward type concept. That's what attracts people for gambling. And so the same types of people will in fact be attracted to an MLM because it's high stakes, high reward. And honestly, it's only high reward for a very slim minority at all. And that's if they get in early. Like, You have to be well connected. If you are already like an influencer and you have like 100,000 followers, yeah, you're gonna do well. Even if you had 20,000 followers, you're gonna do pretty good, opposed to someone like, you know, Nancy down the street that has no social media following. And I am in the hospital awaiting surgery, and my nurse tried to tell me about her wellness MLM. Like, what? She managed to work it into the conversation after taking my medication history and discussing the importance of gut health. I told her I don't buy from MLMs on principle. Good for you. We need more people to do exactly that. To which she was genuinely perplexed, and then told me that all companies are MLMs, like McDonald's. I really hate this argument where they take just the shape of a pyramid and they're like, well, all companies are pyramids. I mean, that is true, but not pyramid schemes. Like, they're all shaped that way. It's not about the shape. It's about where the money comes from. The money flows up in an MLM. The money flows down in a regular company. Neither one are good concepts technically, unless you're getting paid well, but the MLM is the worst business model out there, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions. A lot of experts agree with that, and like there's been some studies that have been done, so it's not like I'm just pulling that out of my ass. Okay, so no, when I go to buy a cheeseburger, I'm not being sold an imaginary slice of the company where the waiter gets a kickback. They get a salary. Don't try that shit on people in the hospital. I have anxiety, and for her to tell me she loves the mental health gains that she gets is frankly disgusting. I totally agree. I also struggle with mental health, and I think we should all freely talk about it, like if you're comfortable, obviously. But I have anxiety, I have depression, and that's from trauma when I was a child and as an adult. But it doesn't ever go away. Like, you learn how to deal with it, but that trauma, it stays with you. That depression, if you have long-term depression, it stays with you. You go in and out of it all the time. And anxiety, that's an everyday thing. You know, I take medication for both. So get help. If you need medication, talk to your doctor, talk to a psychiatrist, go do some therapy if you can. I get it if you can't, because times are tough and therapy is really hard to get into. Anyway, but if you can't afford it and you can do it, because almost everyone needs that. Okay, so edit. Wow, guys, I was not expecting such a strong reaffirmation of my thoughts. Thanks so much. I'm out of surgery now and she's not on shift anymore, but I will wait until she's back and then talk to the head nurse or patient advocate. I hate to think that how many patients she has tried this on, and I will stand up for myself and for them. It's just hard when I know I'm here for 2 to 3 more days, and I would hate for that conflict at the forefront of my mind instead of actual recovery. Edit 2. I have explained the situation to the senior nurse who is taking care of me today. She understands the issue and is going to raise it with her supervisor, who is also the HUN's supervisor. I have asked to be contacted after the resolution in order to make sure it all happens, and I won't be looked after by the HUN for the rest of the stay. I really hope that she gets fired. And I didn't screenshot any of the responses there, but there was actually some nurses in the comments going, no, as a nurse, you need to report her. That is unethical. You are not allowed to do that. And honestly, yes. Like, any nurse, doctor, any kind of medical professional that is trying to shill their MLM products to you, you need to report them 100% of the time, every single time. Because that is, it's not only unethical, I believe it's illegal. So, yeah, and it's a huge conflict of interest. It might not be illegal. I'm not a lawyer. Don't take my word for it. However, I do know 100% it's unethical and 100% it's against company policies. And you can get fired for things like that. And honestly, a nurse that's out there that's trying to do that is not a good nurse and should not be in that profession. So I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's been so long since I posted a video, but I'm back at it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you subscribe, like this video, comment, all the things.